Okay, so we got some results in that I want to share now. This is our Lymphatic Lifestyle Solutions program that we started here at Self-Care Therapy in March of 2020. We had a group that had started then. Of course, that had to go mostly virtual during the shutdowns, but we were able to do some smaller groups, one in the summer and one in the fall. So we have a total of 20 participants that are still following this lifestyle and weight loss program. And I want to give a little bit of a summary of where we are as of December 2020. Um, it's not over by any means. The 20 participants are still following the program and coming in for once a month follow-ups now. So these results will continue to improve, is what I'm expecting. But here's where we're at now. So to begin with, get a little overview of the age spread among the participants. So this is kind of a typical age spread for our patients in the lymphedema clinic as well. So you can see that majority are over 60. And the largest group was in their 70s, and then we even had some in their 80s that were doing this. And all are making results, as you'll see, or getting results, I should say. So some highlights of the results. So we have 20 participants that we're still following and getting results on. We had one spring group, 2 summer groups, and 1 fall group. And altogether, they have lost 420 pounds. So congratulations to the class of 2020 in this program. So that gives an average weight loss of 20 pounds per person. Of course, some have had a head start compared to the ones that started in the fall. The highest weight loss so far with an individual is 49 pounds. And that was one that started early on in March and is still continuing to lose weight. Each follow-up, there's a little bit more, slow and steady. So this is just an overview of their actual weight, the participants' actual weight when they started. This is something that some have asked me to share to get an idea of where they begin. So you can see that it anywhere from most are over 200, but some there's at least one under 200, and then some over 400. So that's kind of the spread of where we're starting. And then the one to the right is where they were. So each color on this graph is a patient. So you can see the corresponding weight in December. And all of them have reduced. This is the actual pounds lost, so total weight loss per patient. So again, each color represents one patient. So you can see the spread there too. And like I said, keep in mind that they are at different stages in how, for the duration, how long they've been doing this. Some started in the fall, and some in the spring, some in the summer. And they all started at different places as well. But you can see that it goes anywhere from 10 pounds up to almost 50 pounds of weight loss. Here's another kind of interesting way to look at the numbers. So since they all started at different times throughout the year, what I did was put an average together for when a participant was 1 month into the program. And then the average there was about 7 pounds per participant. And after 2 months, about 12 pounds. And after 3 months, about 16 pounds. The 3 month is an important one to look at because that's the end of the 12 weeks where it's a little more intense, where they're coming in once a week. They're coming in every other week for individual sessions, classes once a week, and they're doing homework assignments and those kind of things. Then when we look into month 4 and month 5, they're on their own. So they're continuing this now. And that was one that I was really curious to see how that would turn out. And I'm very excited to see that the graph continues at the exact same angle. So they continue at the same pace if we do an average. So after 4 months, the average weight loss is 21, and after 5 months, 25. And that's with only 1 time per month checkups coming in. So they're doing that on their own. We have a few now that are getting up to 8 and 9 months, but there's so few that are there that it wasn't really a fair number to put out an average of only 2 or 3 people of the ones that started first. So next year, perhaps, I'll be able to come up with an update once we start gathering a little more data on that. But very promising and very exciting to see that they're able to continue this lifestyle also after the 12 weeks are over. So the old habits are going away and they're being replaced by new habits, and it's becoming a lifestyle rather than just a temporary weight loss diet. So I put this slide up because one of the things that I think make a lot of people hesitant to start, and especially us medical providers, maybe sometimes are afraid to try to run a weight loss program or to try to address weight loss, is we may have this preconceived notion that people will not comply with it. But if we look at some statistics on that, I had 26 people that joined the class throughout the year. 20 of those are still following and coming in for follow-ups. Doesn't mean that they're adhering to the guidelines exactly perfect, but they're still trying and they're still coming back. That means 78% of the ones that signed up for the class are still working on it. So let's make a comparison of that to the more easy thing for us medical providers to do, which is to prescribe medicine. According to the CDC, the statistics on the bottom there are from the CDC. You can look it up. So adherence to medication, that means how much do people take the medication that they have been prescribed. When they look at that, 20% of prescriptions that are written are never even filled to begin with. So we already lose 20% right there. And then 50% of those that are filled, of those 80%, are not taken correctly. So if we look at that, a 78% compliance isn't too bad. I definitely feel like this is worth continuing. And we are going to continue in 2021 for sure, and we're starting new classes. So general statistics and averages are always interesting to look at, but what really matters is how is this impacting people's lives. So I've included some case studies here of some of the examples of our participants that have been very successful. So here we have a woman that's 72, and this is where she was at after 5 months from when the program began. So this is pretty exciting. She was needing to take 40 units of insulin every day when she started. It was initially cut into half almost immediately to 20, and then it was halved again down to 10 units of insulin per day, and her blood sugar was still measuring too low. So my prediction is that she will probably come off of insulin completely. And how exciting is that? If she was able to reverse her diabetes. We're not saying that diabetes is curable, but she's an example of someone who's actually reversed it and may come off of insulin completely. Her cholesterol improved, all the markers. Her numbers were in the risk factor, and they have reduced down to what's considered optimal cholesterol readings. She lost 34 pounds of body weight. One thing that people sometimes say about the low carb or keto program is that you just lose body weight. Well, we're measuring that, so we're looking at body composition using bioimpedance. And in this particular case, she lost 22 pounds of the weight she lost was in body fat, according to the bioimpedance. Most of the rest of it was in fluid weight, which is also a good thing for our lymphedema patients. So, and her waistline reduced by 5 inches, which is a really good marker for health. So her body composition has improved. Her HbA1c, which is a marker for diabetes, improved from 6.5 to 5.5. Um, Another example, this lady was 79 years old, and after 5 months, she had lost 41 pounds total weight. 28 of that was in body fat. She maintained all of her muscle weight. Her waistline reduced by 4 inches, and she reduced, and here's a significant one. She had so much knee pain that she had to take 6 extra strength Tylenol per day and get steroid shots. Um, Now she's taking 1 Tylenol per week, and that's not even every week. So she has obviously really improved her mobility. And if we look at the cholesterol, she has improved her triglyceride to HDL ratio from 3.1 to 2.7. So that's heading in the right direction, which is a good marker for improved insulin sensitivity, which is very, very important for overall health. We have, they're not all women in the class. We have a male here that's 75. He lost 34 pounds total weight after 5 months and still working on it. 12 pounds of that was in body fat. His waist went down by 6 inches. So he's also having to shop for new clothes. He has become more active and mentioned that he started playing pickleball. Those are the kind of little stories I love to hear because we want all this to relate to improved quality of life, that we feel better more often and we're able to do more things. Here we have a woman that's 77 years old, and this is 8 months into it. So she had lost 46 pounds, which is 20% of her total weight. 29 pounds of that was in body fat. Her waist decreased by 11.5 inches, so that's from 46 to 34.5. Her HbA1c, the marker for diabetes, improved from 6.3 to 5.6. Her LDL reduced, that's the cholesterol that they call the bad cholesterol, reduced from 107 to 88, and she's adhering very strictly to the low carb high fat. So this is with her eating a lot of fat, and her LDL went down. Her triglyceride HDL ratio is now 1.1. I did not have a before number on that, but that's a good number for insulin sensitivity. So I know I'm going through it fast, so it's a lot of numbers, but trying not to make this video too long. Here we have the last thing is what about the lymphedema? Because we are a lymphedema management clinic, and the name of the program is Lymphatic Lifestyle. So 10 of these patients have been measured sort of before and after. And of the ones that I have measurements on at this point, all of them have lost an additional volume. So keep in mind that all of these patients had been through an intense lymphedema therapy program before they started this weight loss program. So they had reduced a lot of swelling already. They had plateaued with that. They were managing their swelling by wearing compression garments. And at that point, we usually don't see a lot more reduction. But with all 10 of these, they have reduced about 1 liter of fluid per person. That's an average, so some more, some less. So that's really exciting to us because of the emerging research that's pointing towards that this this type of lifestyle may improve lymphatic flow. Either way, it reduces fluid retention and it reduces inflammation, and that may be the explanation. But either way, they have less swelling than they did before they started. And it's harder to measure, but we're starting to see signs that some of them are less dependent on their compression garment, meaning they can maybe go a little longer without compression garments, and the swelling doesn't come back as fast. So we're very excited about the results on this first year and excited about this new year 2021. We're hoping to continue to see these kind of long-term results and starting up the new classes also. One last little point I would want to make since we're in this year of the pandemic is we're all doing a lot of things to try to not be exposed to the virus, and that's good. Especially when we have these risk factors like diabetes and obesity. But in addition to that, these patients that have made the effort to try to make these lifestyle changes, they are also reducing these risk factors, so that if we get exposed to this virus, we're going to be less likely to be critically ill. And I mentioned here, there's no way to prove if this helps or not, but we do have two that were in their 80s who several weeks after they had participated in this program ended up getting the COVID, and neither one of them got critically ill, and both of them recovered well. Um, so good for them. They really did something to help make themselves more resilient to fighting it off when it comes. So that's the results for this year. We're very excited about it. We are proud of all the participants in this group in 2020, and we'll get back later with some more updated results.